Legend of Yufei Chapter 3.
The story really starts with a glimpse into just how humble things were. Yufei, we meet his mother, Yuanren. She's a single parent, and she sends young Yufei out to gather firewood.
And this wasn't just like a chore for pocket money. This was essential. It's absolutely vital for them to survive.
Totally. Can you picture this kid tasked with finding fuel, walking to this dirt hill, probably thinking, where am I even going to find any wood?
And the source says the first place he looks, completely barren, not a twig.
Wow.
And there's this poetic bit in the text that really hits home, talking about the hardship. Lines like, floods brought trouble and suffering, alas for the young child in the reeds. It paints this picture of his mother spinning thread all night just to feed them, teaching her son, missing her husband, tears secretly falling. You really feel how tough their life was.
Yeah, that sets a powerful scene, just pure struggle. But then, okay, Yufei faces this first real test, a confrontation,
Right. He goes to a second hill, finds maybe 7 or 8 other boys playing there.
including a couple of neighbors, right? Zhang Shari and Li
Just
Zhuar.
them. They see him and, they invite him to play this game, stacking our hats.
But Yufei, even then, he's got this amazing sense of duty. He says no, tells him his mother gave him a direct order, get firewood.
And the other boys,
Yeah.
well, they don't like that one bit. They start taunting him. The text has them saying something like, always mother's command, if you won't play, we'll beat your dog head.
Oof. Harsh.
Yeah, pretty demeaning language.
Yeah.
But Yufei doesn't back down. He fires back something along the lines of, don't make fun. I, Yufei, am not afraid of anyone.
Wow, bold kid. So it gets physical.
Oh, yeah. One boy throws a punch, another kicks him, and pretty soon all 7 or 8 of them are piling on him.
So what happens? How does he handle being outnumbered like that? Does he just run?
Well, this is where you see that spark. The text says he actually uses both hands, pushes down 3 or 4 of them, just enough to create an opening and escape.
He fought back effectively.
Seems like it. And apparently, some of the boys ran off crying to his mother afterwards. But she just calmly sorts it out.
So even this early fight tells us something.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic insight, isn't it? You see his commitment to duty, bravery even when intimidated, and the surprising ability to handle himself. It definitely foreshadows the leader he'd become.
That strength of character is really something. Okay, so he escapes, but what happens when he finally gets home? He must have been late, right?
He does get home eventually, yeah. And his basket isn't empty. He found some dry branches behind the hill somewhere.
So mission accomplished, sort of?
Well, yes and no. His mother, Yuanren, she gives him this scolding, but it's incredibly wise. It's not just don't fight.
What does she focus on?
First, the social harmony aspect. You cause trouble, now people are coming to our door complaining. Kusha,
Yeah.
as the text puts it.
Ah, okay. Don't make waves.
Exactly. But then, crucially, she gets into the ethics, those dry branches. She points out their huve, basically, someone else's property, floral profits perhaps, belonging to the sku, the mountain owner. She warns him they could get punished.
So respect for property, even when you're desperate, that's a big lesson.
Huge. But then there's the part that really gets you, her fear for his safety.
Yeah, you mentioned that line.
Right. She asks him something like, what if you climbed a tree for those branches and fell? If something happened to you, who would I, your mother, rely on?
Oh, wow. That hits hard. It's about her love, her fear, their interdependence.
Completely. And Yufei, he gets it immediately, kneels down, full of remorse, promises her, mother, don't worry, I won't take dry branches tomorrow.
So that whole interaction,
Yeah.
it's formative.
Absolutely. It's his mother shaping his understanding of right and wrong, avoiding conflict, the dangers around them, but also her deep reliance on him. It's a masterclass in parenting under pressure.
This moment seems like a real pivot. What happens next? Does he just find another way to get wood?
Actually, no. This is where his mother makes a really pivotal decision. She tells him, okay, you don't need to gather firewood anymore.
Really? How could they manage?
Well, she decides his time is better spent elsewhere. She says she's going to teach him to read. She apparently had some books already, got them from a local yuanwei.
A Yuana, like a local landowner?
Yeah, someone relatively well off.
Yeah.
So she sees education as the real path forward, not manual labor. A huge shift in focus.
That's incredible foresight from her. And how did Yufei take to learning?
Oh, he was brilliant. The text basically says he had this amazing natural intelligence. Shit.
Yeah. You teach him once, he can read it. He reads it once, he masters it.
A quick study.
Very quick. He clearly had an aptitude for it.
Okay, so he's learning to read. What about writing? That's usually the next step, right?
Right. So after a few days, his mother says, okay, now for calligraphy. It's important. But here's the catch. She tells him to use the money she'd saved up to buy paper and brushes.
Which, given how poor they were, must have been a big deal. A real sacrifice. Exactly.
Yeah.
But young Yu Fei, this is where his resourcefulness just blows you away. He tells his mother there's no need to spend the money.
Oh, what's his plan?
He gets it's like a winnowing basket, goes down to the riverbank, the dew tom, and fills it up with river sand. Sand. And then he finds some whole willow branches and shapes them to use like brushes.
He made his own writing kit out of sand and twigs.
Pretty much. He comes back and tells her, basically, Mother, this paper and brush costs nothing, and they'll never run out. It's free and inexhaustible.
That is genuinely ingenious. How did his mother react to that?
The text says she just smiled slightly and said, this is good. Quiet approval, recognizing the cleverness of it.
So she didn't push him to buy the real supplies.
Nope. She went with his solution. The source says she first guided his hand to write on the sand with the willow branch, and he picked it up super quickly, writing independently in no time.
This anecdote,
Yeah.
it's more than just being clever, isn't it? What's the deeper takeaway here?
I think it really speaks volumes about innovation. You know, it's not just about making do. It's about seeing potential where others see. Well, nothing. Sand becomes a canvas. A twig becomes a pen.
It's a mindset shift.
Totally. It shows how real creativity often sparks not from having everything, but from having very little and needing to reimagine what's possible. It's that classic idea, necessity being the mother of invention. It really makes you think about resourcefulness differently.
Wang Yi, 6-year-old boy. The Force actually describes him as strong and boorish.
Yeah, boorish is a good word for it.
The scene opens. He's playing chess with a servant, Wang An. And just for context, Wang Yi's father is Wang Yuanwei. That's sort of a term for a wealthy gentleman, maybe a landlord.
Right, established.
And his mother is the Yunjun, his wife. So they have a certain social standing here.
And what really stands out almost immediately is Wang Yi's understanding of winning. It's pretty primitive. He asks, what are the pieces? How do I win?
The basics.
Right. And when he's told that, eating the opponent's general leads to victory, his solution is just, bam, eat Wang An's general with his own general. Right away.
Just like that.
Yeah. And he even says, aren't you already defeated? Like, game over.
So Wang An, the servant, tries to explain the actual rules. Generals can't move like that. And Wang Yi's reaction, it's explosive.
It really is.
He curses the servant, shouts bullshit, essentially.
Right. The original is Gangio.
Very direct.
Very direct. And accuses him, are you trying to trick me? Because I don't know how to play. Yeah. Total accusation. And then it escalates physically.
He picks up the whole chessboard.
The whole thing.
And just hits Wang on the head with it. The text says, fresh blood to stream down.
Oof. Yeah, it's quite violent. And this naturally leads to the next question. How does the father, Wang Yuanwei, react? Wang Gan runs to him, bleeding.
Well, he's furious, naturally. Calls his son a beast.
That exact word. Yeah.
And then he hits Wang Yi on the head multiple times.
The source actually describes it quite specifically, a continuous series of blows, almost like hard knuckle flicks to the head.
Ow. Yeah, you can feel his frustration there.
Definitely. Intense frustration.
But then, this is where the dynamic really shifts, doesn't it? Wang Yi runs straight to his mother, the Yuanjun, crying, Dad wants to beat me to death.
And her reaction is immediate. But it's not just protective, it's combative. Instantly combative towards the husband.
Right. She shifts the focus completely.
Completely. Tells the boy, don't cry, I'm here. Even gets a maid to bring him fruit to comfort him.
Yeah. Soothing the symptom, not the cause.
Exactly. And then she turns on her husband fiercely.
Yeah.
Calls him an old killer. Just like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And reminds him how hard it was to have this son. For what great crime do you want to beat him to death? How can these tender bones withstand a beating? That's the gist of her argument.
Really laying it on thick.
Oh, yeah. She even threatens to, fight him to the death.
Yeah.
Servants actually have to pull her away.
So what does this leave the father, Wang Yuanwei, with? What's his situation now?
Well, the text says he's left speechless with rage.
Can't blame him.
No. And he's thinking, if his wife keeps indulging their son like this, it could ruin his whole life.
He sees the long-term problem.
He does. But he's completely powerless. It highlights this profound helplessness, not just over the son, but over the whole family dynamic.
Yeah, the spousal loyalty or maybe misplaced loyalty just trumps everything.
It completely trumps paternal authority. It creates
Mm.
this vacuum, really. And it's not just indulgence, it's active subversion of discipline.
Right, undermining him completely.
Totally. He's left, the text says, suffocated and with no outlet for his anger. Just stuck.
Okay, so if you thought Wang Yuanwei's troubles were, unique to his household,
I'd be wrong.
exactly, the narrative then cleverly broadens things out. It shows this is a shared dilemma. How does the text do that?
Well, that's, I think, where the real genius of this chapter lies.
Yeah.
Just as Wang Yuanwei is stewing, basically.
Fuming alone.
Yeah, fuming alone. Two of his friends arrive, and guess what? They've got almost the exact same stories.
No way.
Yes, it immediately shifts it from like one family's problem to a wider, maybe even societal observation about unchecked behavior and where it leads.
So who shows up first?
First, his friend Zhang Yuanwei comes in, and his face is visibly scratched.
Scratched. Okay.
Yeah, he tells this story about his son, Damshen. Apparently, the kid is constantly riding his horse out, causing damage, trampling people's property.
Oh, boy.
And most recently, he actually trampled someone. Zhang Yuanwei had to pay compensation. Again.
So Zhang Yuanwei tried to discipline him.
He says he naturally disciplined the boy, but the boy's mother.
Different family, similar dynamic.
Exactly. She fiercely protected the boy. And get this, she physically attacked Zhang Yuanwei, scratched his face during the argument.
Wow. So she's defending the kid.
Precisely. It escalates beyond just undermining. It's active, even violent protection of the misbehavior.
So Zhang is there looking for what?
Solace? Yeah, solace understanding. He basically says, I can't stand it. I had to come tell you, brother. He needs to vent to someone who might get it.
And just as they're digesting that,
In bursts another friend, Tang Wensung, equally enraged.
what's his story?
Peng Wai, this kid hangs out at a Tang Yun shop. You know, those sweet glutinous rice balls. The shop is actually rented out by Tang Wensung himself. And Tang Wai just eats all the Tang Wen, always demands more, causes trouble if he doesn't get his way.
Sounds like a spoiled brat.
Oh, it gets worse than just spoiled. It becomes malicious.
How so?
Tang Wai apparently piled stones right in front of the shop's door. So this morning, when the owner, old Mr. Jin, opened the door, bam, injured his foot.
Okay, that's deliberate troublemaking.
Absolutely. And Tang Wenzong, like the others, says he naturally beat this animal a few times. His words.
Trying discipline again.
Trying discipline. But again, Tang Wai's mother,
Let me guess. Fierce defense.
fierce doesn't even cover it.
Yeah.
She apparently fought him to the desk, quoting text loosely, and hit him several times with a wooden staff.
A wooden staff. Good grief. So another mother.
Exactly the same pattern. It's uncanny.
So you've got these three men, Wang, Zhang, and Tang, all comparing notes. What's the takeaway for them?
Well, Wang Yuanwei sums it up pretty perfectly. He just says, brother, no need to be angry. We are both suffering from the same illness.
A shared illness.
Yeah. They all recognize they're in the same boat. Angry, frustrated, and crucially, as the text notes, they have no solution.
So when we look at all three accounts, what are the common threads that maybe jump out to us looking back that they might not have fully articulated beyond just the illness?
That's a great question, because they're focused on the symptom, right? The kid's awful behavior.
Yeah.
But what we can see, looking at the pattern, is this systemic breakdown of authority. And it's largely being facilitated or maybe even driven by the maternal figures, the mothers.
It's like the protective instinct gone haywire.
Exactly. It creates this really powerful dynamic where any attempt at discipline isn't just resisted, it's actively sabotaged, sometimes violently.
So it becomes this echo chamber.
Oh,
Kid
yeah.
misbehaves, father tries to discipline, mother undermines father. Kid learns there are no consequences.
Repeat. Exactly.
Okay.
It leaves everyone angry, frustrated, and totally stuck. No solution in sight. Okay, imagine this. A group of parents, just completely desperate. Their kids are so unruly, so out of control, they've literally scared off every single teacher they've hired.
Driven them away. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like this timeless problem, isn't it? And it makes you ask, what does it actually take to fix a situation like that when, the usual stuff just fails?
Right. When the standard playbook is useless.
These three landowners, Wang Ying, Zhang, and Tang, they're together, and you can just picture the scene, total frustration. They're talking about their sons, calling them naughty, unruly. basically recounting how these boys have managed to get rid of every teacher. It's clearly a big problem.
Oh, it's beyond just naughty kids. It's like a total breakdown of the system they have. They've tried, the kids have pushed back, and won every time. It highlights this real challenge to authority.
And right into this mess walks Master Zutong, an older guy.
Right. And his reason for being there seems pretty mundane at first. He's got some land to manage, something he picked up earlier, and he wants to see old friends. Simple enough.
But there's so much under the surface, isn't there? His personal story is, well, it's tragic. And it feels like it shapes everything about him.
Absolutely. He tells them he's truly alone. His wife died years ago. And then his son died in military service.
While accompanying Zutong's own apprentice, Lu Junyi no less.
Exactly. And then those apprentices, Lin Chong and Lu Junyi, both met terrible ends, harmed by corrupt officials, as the text says. I mean, that's layer upon layer of loss.
It really is. It makes you think that kind of grief, it could make someone just withdraw, right?
You'd think so. But here, this state of being alone, this Jumu Kin, seems to have almost forged something else in him, like an incredible resilience, maybe even a fierce kind of independence.
Like he's faced the worst. So what are a few unruly kids?
Something like that. Perhaps that deep hardship gave him this unwavering core. It prepared him for this specific challenge.
And you see that resolve instantly. When the landowners are pouring out their troubles, Zutong doesn't really offer sympathy. He just says the previous teachers were unskilled.
Yeah, just dismisses them.
And then he challenges the landowners directly. Like, if I were teaching them, you think they could beat me? It's incredibly confident.
It really is. It's not just talk, though. It suggests he has this deep belief in his own methods, his read on people, maybe even his ability to control the situation itself.
So the landowners, understandably, are probably thinking, yes, finally.
They're overjoyed, yeah. They immediately ask him to stay and teach the boys. And Zutong agrees, but interestingly, the text says it's out of consideration for his old friends.
So there's still that personal connection driving it.
Right. Then Zhang and Tang leave, and it's just Wang Ming and Zutong sorting out the details. It's this mix of friendship and undeniable professional confidence on Zutong's part.
Which leads us straight to the confrontation, because it happens fast.
Immediately, the next day.
Before classes even really start, one of the sons, Wang Yi, hears about this new teacher who's supposed to be fierce.
Doesn't take him long to react.
Nope. He runs off, finds his buddies, Zhang Xian and Tang Huai, and they cook up a plan.
They're going to give the new guy a taste of their own medicine.
Right. They get iron rulers, short sticks. They're ready for a fight. Honestly, if someone came at me like that on day one, I'd probably be out the door.
Yeah, most people would. But Master Zhu is clearly cut from a different cloth.
Definitely. So, first day. The landowners bring their sons, they introduce them. They even invite Zutong for a nice start-of-school meal. Polite, right?
Seems like the standard thing to do. But Zutong, he shuts it down immediately. Not the time for a meal, he says.
And then escorts the landowners out of the study. Just like that.
That's such a power move. It's not about the food. It's about establishing who is in charge of this space right now. Total control from minute one.
He sets that boundary instantly.
Yeah.
Then he turns, calls Wang Yi over to present his book. Time for lesson 1.
And Wang Yi, well, he plays his part. He fires back really rudely.
Something like, guests haven't presented their books. How can the host go first? You don't make sense. How dare you teach?
Just pure defiance. And then he doesn't wait, pulls an iron ruler out of his sock.
Out of his sock.
And swings it right at Zutong's head. I mean, this is open rebellion.
Wow. So what does the master do? This is the moment, right?
It is. And his reaction is incredibly fast, efficient, no hesitation. He dodges the ruler, catches it with one hand, grabs Wang Gale by the back of his collar.
Just grabs him.
Yep. Lifts him up onto a stool, takes out what's called a discipline board, a Jifang.
A specific tool for this.
Exactly. And he hits Wang Gale hard several times. It's swift, it's physical, it's an immediate consequence, no discussion, just action.
And the effect.
Instantaneous.
Yeah.
Dramatic. Wang Yi, remember, he's this rich kid, probably never faced real pain or consequence like this.
Right. Totally unfamiliar with it.
Those few sharp blows, they completely break his resistance. He becomes submissive, agrees to follow instructions. Just like that.
Wow. And the other two, Zhang Jia and Tang Huai.
They saw the whole thing. And you can just imagine them quietly getting rid of their own hidden rulers and sticks.
Suddenly not such a great idea anymore.
Not at all. They instantly start behaving. And the text says, from that exact moment, all three boys diligently followed the teacher's instruction. Total turnaround.
An instant transformation.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing. Young Yufei. And he's not actually in the classroom. He's next door. The story says he's so hungry for knowledge, he keeps using this little stool to climb up to the wall. Just listening in on Zhu Dong's lectures. What does that tell us straight away about him? It's more than just being curious, right?
Oh, absolutely. That immediately makes you ask, what kind of learner is this? It's not just interest. It's this deep, proactive drive to learn even without an invitation. It really says so much about his innate intellectual appetite, I suppose. A self-starter, completely outside the usual system.
Right. And then, talking about foundational moments,
Mm-hmm.
the story introduces Yudong, the teacher, and he gets a visitor, a tenant farmer, Wang Laoshi. And it seems pretty ordinary at first, maybe just discussing the land, the rent.
Exactly. But this is where it gets really interesting. This seemingly mundane chat suddenly shifts. Wang Laoshi reports this amazing harvest, says he got 2 years' harvest in one, but then the crucial detail.
The rice.
Yes. The rice is growing with double ears. That's the phrase, he shang shang sui. Now, this isn't just good farming luck. In this context, it's a powerful omen, a really significant sign.
Okay, so Zudong hears this, and his reaction, he interprets double ears right away.
Instantly. He says it signifies the emergence of a noble person. A hogi. Giren.
Wow, so not subtle at all. That's classic foreshadowing, obviously, but him just declaring it like that, it feels very direct. It really amps up the sense that something big is meant to happen.
It does. And in these kinds of traditional stories, omens like this are rarely just accidental plot points. They often tap into a deeper cultural belief about destiny, about the connection between nature and human events. It sort of elevates the hero's journey, suggesting it's almost preordained, linked to the cosmos in a way.
Okay, so the next day, Zudong is getting ready to go see these amazing fields with Wang Laoshi. But first, he gives his 3 students, Wang Yi, Zhang Xin, and Tong Huai, he gives them 3 essay topics to work on. Poti, the text calls them, sets the scene perfectly.
It really does, because as soon as Yudong leaves, that's the moment. Yufei heads straight for the study. He sees his chance.
But then, get this, the students themselves stop him. Wang Yi actually grabs him and says, basically, you need to help us.
Yeah. And the others, Zhang Xian and Tang Wei, they're right there agreeing.
And they just admit it. They say they don't feel like doing the essays and want to go visit their mothers instead. So they just want Yufei to do their homework.
Pretty much. They just hand off the responsibility. It's such a stark contrast, isn't it, between Yufei's intense drive and these students who are, well, kind of lazy and just want to have fun.
It really makes you think about where the real potential is. Maybe not always inside the official classroom.
Exactly. And they go to quite an extreme length, too. Wang Yi actually locks Yufei in the study from the outside.
Locks him in.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Tells him there are snacks inside if he gets hungry. It's a really vivid picture of these completely different attitudes towards learning and, frankly, work.
So Yufei is locked in the study. What happens next is just... well, it's astounding. He doesn't just start writing their essays. First, he carefully looks through their old homework.
Right. To understand their individual styles. That's the incredible part.
Okay, so he's analyzing their writing first.
Yes, which shows this amazing analytical mind already. He's not just doing the task. He's adapting. He's showing this incredible intellectual flexibility. And then he writes 3 completely different essays, each one perfectly matching the voice of the student it's supposedly for. It's like intellectual mimicry, almost.
That's amazing. But he doesn't stop there, does he?
No. After finishing their essays, he sits down at Zudong's own desk and starts reading the teacher's writings.
And his reaction is pretty dramatic. The text says he slams the table. Hey,
Right. And he exclaims something like, wow, if I, Yufei, could just be taught by this man, I wouldn't have to worry about my future fame.
So at 7 years old, he recognizes profound wisdom when he sees it. And he knows he needs that specific teacher that's incredibly self-aware.
It truly is. It shows not just his intelligence, but his ambition. He understands what genuine mastery looks like, and he immediately connects it to his own goals. He knows what he needs to achieve what he wants, even that young.
And then comes the really iconic moment. He's 7, he grabs a brush, dips it in ink, he pulls over that little stool he uses, the Jinyo Seindeng, stands on it, and writes a poem. Right there on the white wall, the Sunbi.
And what a poem. It's full of lines about, setting aside scholarly things for military glory, achieving high rank almost effortlessly.
Yeah.
It's this huge ambition, right? Military success, heroism, a vast spirit reaching the heavens, it says. Yoxia Kunping, she Dunyu, his sword energy reaching the stars.
For a 7-year-old, it's incredibly prophetic. It's more than just showing off literary skill. It's like a declaration of his entire life's purpose.
Just astounding audacity and talent.
Completely. And then the signature, it adds this little touch. Which means?
Something like, occasionally written by 7-year-old child Yu Fei, a little bit of humility maybe, or just a touch of youthful, well, cheekiness perhaps.
Okay, so he's just finished this incredible act, puts the brush down, and suddenly the lock on the study door rattles.
Yeah, and the 3 students, Wang Yi, Zhang Xian, Tong Hui, they burst back in.
And they're yelling, Kuai Jing, Kuai, run, run!
Total panic.
So why? Why the sudden panic from the guys who locked him in there in the first place? What's going on?
And that is the perfect cliffhanger the original text leaves us with.